Yes, leadership. Yes, Minister for Education.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank the makers of the statement, the Honorable Zuera and our colleague, for the opportunity to pay tribute to Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings, former First Lady of the Republic of Ghana, who undoubtedly made a remarkable contribution to the social, political, and economic development of our country. Mr. Speaker, for those of us in the NDC, Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings was a critical financier of the NDC. A critical financier of the NDC. And particularly given the historical evolution of the NDC being birthed to by the PNDC, it took a lot of courage and a lot of investment to get the NDC resilient and viral as it is today. Sometimes, Mr. Speaker, when I hear our colleagues opposite, what the NPP is going through today, we probably went through worse in 2001 in this republic when we lost power in the year 2000. I still recall, Mr. Speaker, that part of it was reforming the NDC itself. And I went to pay tribute. I made this comment. I want to repeat it for the record, that sometimes when we are angry, we should manage our anger. That is one of the fundamental lessons the departure of Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings must teach us, those within the political group and the political elites of our country, to be measured in what we do. And Mr. Speaker, I say so because at the time, if you recall the NDC Congress, there was one at Trade Fair, there was one in Tamale, round cross, because we're building a political party, people with diverse backgrounds. My first encounter, Mr. Speaker, with Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings was when I was growing up in Tamale. There was a day on the 31st December Women's Movement. She came to commission a bakery where they do bread at a home closer to my home in Tamale. And that we want to celebrate her for her contribution, extraordinary contribution to women empowerment in Ghana and Africa. She led the way. And the 31st December Women's Movement led the way. At least if for nothing, Mr. Speaker, the consciousness it created in our women to know their right and to demand their right is to her credit. Then, as I said, in the building of the NDC as a party, I was having a word with Dr. Obeda Samoa, who then was national chairman. I served under him as national youth organizer. And he reminded me of the critical role, because at the time she knew people, so she could reach out for persons to support the NDC. And then, Mr. Speaker, you know today why the NDC is strong, because there were a group of young people, including the majority leader now. We had formed the youth forum, and we related to President Rawlings and the family that we didn't want to romanticize Rawlingism or Rawlings without building structures for the NDC as a party. So we learned from the CPP lesson, a romantic Nkrumaism, but on the ground, no structures. We said no. We told President Rawlings at the time, Fifi Kwete Newz was there, that no, let us build a political party so that tomorrow we will make you proud. This was between 2001, 2004, very struggling days for the NDC. But today, Mr. Speaker, we have a formidable political party which is governing. So to Honorable Zuera and to our colleague Ezenata, I pray that God will give her and her siblings the fortitude to accept the loss. Is the loss of an icon of a woman. Even in our democratic journey, she played her part. Mr. Speaker, permit me to conclude by saying that given the temperament at the time of the late President Rawlings, you only can credit that strong woman and that strong voice of a sobering personality that sobered President Rawlings, who ruled this country for a period of 19 years. Not easy. I mean, even getting Ghana transiting from a state-dominated economy to a liberalized economy. We owe it to that period. Transiting Ghana from authoritarian, autocratic regime to a democratic regime. We owe it to that period. So, Mr. Speaker, this is the woman we are celebrating, Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. She paid her dues. She played her part in the building of our democracy, but more importantly, in the empowerment of women. And I'm sure her popular word, be bold, was to tell us that we should be courageous in standing by the truth and upholding the value of honesty. May her soul rest in perfect peace. And I do convey my profound sympathies and condolences to the family. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, based on the agreement, may we observe 1 minute silence. Honourable members, may her soul rest in perfect peace. Amen. Yes, Honourable Alassane Soyini, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to this beautiful statement presented by the Honourable Member of Parliament for Salaga South in honor of the late First Lady of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings is the heroine of our childhood. Some of us grew up and our first experience of a woman with power and with authority, and one who used it as a force of change, positive change. And it inspired many in our generation to achieve, to reach out to achieve more. Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings was not only a trailblazer for her generation, but through her works and her activities, she inspired the generations that followed right after hers. I recall when education was not very popular in many parts of this country, especially the rural areas. She dared to champion education even for the girl child, when even education for the boy child was not that popular. By her deeds and her acts, it became so common. And today, it is a fact that at the basic level, we tend to have more girl students than we do for boy students. It was because of this campaign that she led, with a song that many of us can still remember. Send your girl child to school, send your girl child to school. This was what we heard on the radio in the morning and in the afternoon. And that defied the traditional belief at the time that the place for the woman or the girl was in the kitchen or the market. And because of her activities and how she mobilized market women and how she mobilized women in general in the communities and took active part in the building of our communities, it became easier for parents who had girl children to dream that kind of life for their children and to give them that opportunity and to support them. And so indeed, her loss is not just one for her immediate family. Even as we condole with them, it is important that we remind them that the loss is felt by all patriotic citizens of this land, because she laid her life, used her youthful energy to help in building this country and in creating the platform that we all stand today. And so on this note, I wish to extend my heartfelt condolences to our colleague, Senator Ajiman Rawlings, for the loss, and pray that the Almighty Allah, Zaneto, I'm sure she won't forgive me for not pronouncing the name well, because I've had private tutorials on how to pronounce it. Yes, my heartfelt condolences to her and her siblings. I pray that the good Lord will give her the strength and the serenity of mind that she requires to lead the family in these difficult times. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much.